I've had many people ask me how I wired my homemade outdoor wood boiler behind me. Let's get into it. All right, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about wiring a homemade outdoor wood boiler. Maybe even a little more because I went a little over the top. I will say I am underdressed. It's 14 degrees Fahrenheit right now, and it's windy and cold. 72 degrees, 45% humidity inside. Baby sleeping nice and warm. My wife is nice and cozy warm. Very happy about that because I don't have to pay for propane. Wood boiler's doing its thing. I'm gonna try doing this dual record thing. So first of all, this is my electrical box. I have my main power running in this guy right here. This is rated for direct burial, direct sunlight, outside power. And yes, this stuff should be running conduit, but that's not right now. Maybe one day. Weather tight box. My main power runs in this back guy right here, and it runs down to this. These blocks right here are really important. These blocks right here are just power distribution. Typically black is hot, white is neutral. And I will note that some of the wires, all the wires inside are black and they're labeled 1 and 2. So I'm using that to designate hot and neutral. So you might see my white power distribution is all my neutrals. You will see some black wires running into it. Those are not hot, those are neutral. At the end of the video, I will put up schematics. I drew this up as best I could. It's a little messy, but I believe everything is there. Play the video back and look at the schematics, dissect it a little bit to wrap your head around exactly how it's wired. So my main power comes in, and before the neutral from the main power coming in goes to my neutral power distribution, and the hot goes through this main power switch. So if I shut this off, all the power goes off in the entire panel. This basically always stays on so that my power distribution has live power, and these are all rated for the voltage and amperage that I am putting through them. Both the contactor, power distribution switches, everything. Main power's on. That means that my power distribution, all my neutrals are live and all my hots are live. Off my hot power distribution, I run a hot leg to a water pump switch. This switch runs out and goes to the water pump, and the neutral from the water pump runs directly back to my neutral power distribution. Same thing with the fan. This switch pulls power from hot power distribution. When the switch goes on, then my power goes out through these wires, and these definitely need to be in something, but my power goes out to my fan, and the neutral comes in and is wired directly to my neutral power distribution. And that's exactly the same as the light. Light's right here, runs back down this wire, runs over, and the light, neutral, sorry, goes here, and the hot is switched through here from the power distribution. Off the outgoing side of the main power switch and the water pump switch, I run a separate hot wire down to these indicator lights, so that when these switches are on, this light is on. So as you'll see, and then the neutrals of these switches run back to power distribution. So if I turn this water pump switch off, my water pump shuts off and my water pump indicator goes off. You see it going on and off. We want that on. I want to keep the house warm. This is where things get a little confusing, because in order to control the power running to my Stoke fan, which is under here, I've got a switch here, I've got a contactor here inside this Aquastat, and then I have a separate contactor. I'm going to try my best to explain it, but if it's confusing, look at the schematics on the end and it might help you dissect it a little bit. My hot and neutral are wired directly into the Aquastat control here through the power distribution. So if the main power is on, this is on. There's basically a switch in there, it's a contactor, and when it calls for heat, it closes the contacts, which typically would turn the fan on. What you do is you have a light switch in line with that. So let's say contacts close, and if this was wired up, a lot of guys do it, this wire would have power and the Stoke fan would kick on. The problem with that is if you need to open the door to load wood and the Stoke fan's running, it blows smoke everywhere. So what you do is you wire in a light switch, shut off the light switch, and the Stoke fan will shut off and you can open the door and load wood. This isn't closed and the Stoke fan isn't running. I still like to turn off the switch in line with this so that if the Stoke fan kicks on while the door's open, it doesn't start blowing. Now my fear was I would walk away from the boiler here and forget to turn that switch back on. So the water temperature would drop, the contacts in here would close, and my Stoke fan won't kick on because I accidentally left the switch off. I wanted a way to view, this light doesn't look like it on, but it is. I wanted a way to view the status of that switch that's in line with this wire, even if it doesn't have power. How I ended up doing that is I wired a separate, normally closed contact for that switch. I'm using one pole to pass power through down to my Stoke fan, and I use the other pole on this indicator light. And then this contactor is ran off this switch. So let me explain that again. Maybe it'll make a little more sense. So power comes into the Aquastat from the power distribution, and then it stops. If the aquastat calls for the stoke fan to kick on, it closes contacts and it sends power to this normally closed contactor and passes through 2 of these poles. So if this coil is not energized in this contactor, the power calling for heat passes right through, and then it goes down this wire and can kick on the stoke fan. The other pole is wired from power distribution through the other set of contacts here and goes to this light. That way, if this contactor is closed and power has the ability to pass through to the stoke fan, whether the power coming to the stoke fan is on or off, I'll have my indicator light. This indicator light is not an indicator if the stoke fan is running, it's if the contactor for this stoke fan is closed and the stoke fan can run. So it's basically like, will the stoke fan kick on if the aquastat calls for it? If this light is on, yes it will. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. It can be a little confusing, but it's the way my brain works and the way that I devised it to work. The last one right here, stoke fan override. Sometimes when you open the door to the boiler, there's a lot of smoke that comes out. If it's been choked down for a while and the stoke fan hasn't kicked on, when the stoke fan kicks on, it gets a fire hot and there's no smoke that comes out. So I thought, well, usually when I'm prepping, I usually got the truck here getting firewood down. I thought it would be great if I had a switch to be able to override this contactor and the aquastat and just force power down this wire to the stoke fan for a couple minutes while I'm getting wood ready to put in the boiler, so that when I open the door, there's not as much smoke that comes out. So I did that. So this used to be a switch. I'll explain why it's a timer in a minute, but off this switch, I had power coming from my power distribution, and it would go through this switch. And when I would turn the switch on, the other end of the switch would come out and go to the pole on the contactor that is outgoing down this wire. So I could hit a switch and override this contactor, this switch, and the contactor in here, and I could force the stoke fan on. Then I had another fear. What if I walk away, I forget to turn that switch off? That means that the stoke fan would just run, and it would overheat the boiler, and it would not be good. So I put one of these bathroom fan timers on so that I can just turn the switch on, and it kicks the stoke fan on. This light right here is just wired up off this wire, that when the stoke fan kicks on, this light comes on. This light comes on only when this is running. This light comes on when this contactor is closed and it has the ability to run. I hope that makes sense. Lastly, another oddball thing that I did, this is a normally closed contactor, so I normally won't have power here. I only want to, if I want to break the power running through here that goes to my stoke fan, I energize this coil and it opens. So 99% of the time, this thing is always closed and this coil is not energized. You'll notice that the switch is on, meaning my stoke fan contactor is on. I flipped the switch upside down. So the switch is actually off. There's no power going to here. When I turn this switch, you hear this contactor open, which breaks power running through here, which one pole shuts off my light, the other pole shuts off power running down to here. The big reason why I wanted these lights here is that this camera up here behind me, right here, I can get on this with my phone while I'm at work, and I can double check that I have main power on, my water pump is running, my stoke fan contactor is engaged, or the contacts are closed, meaning if my aquastat calls for heat, and the contact's closed in here, power will travel through my contactor, down this wire, kick my stoke fan on, and turn this indicator light on. So I really like having this indicator light here too, because I can just look out either on the camera or look out the window and see this from the house, to where if this light is on, I know that the stoke fan is running, everything's heating up, but then I also look out on the camera and see if this light is off, and if it is off, I know my water's up to temp. That light is off, these 3 lights are on, and I know my water is up to temp. I also wired this in. I don't know if you can see this through the camera. This is a really cheap little display. It's just a thermocouple and an LCD display to display the water temp. This is a water temp that actually runs boiler. This is just kind of tucked in behind the insulation up against the water jacket, so I have a rough idea of how warm everything is, and that's so that I can see the temperature from the camera behind me on my phone. Just peace of mind when I'm gone at work, to be able to look up and know that everything with this unit is functioning properly and the family's warm and safe. And this unit runs on 12 volt DC. I actually wired this power distribution block, inside the panel here, there is just a normal 120 volt outlet, 12 volt DC transformer or power supply, whatever you want to call them, same thing, that you plug into the outlet and it produces 12 volt DC that I just have wired into here. It's all behind here, so I'm not gonna pull it all out, but yeah, I think that's the last bit of it. Throw up the schematics for seconds or whatever. You can pause it, take a screenshot of it, whatever, I don't care. Maybe I can put a link on my website or something. I'll figure it out. But thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll do my best to answer. I know this isn't 100% legit, but I know enough to make it safe. There's more that I want to do to it. Clean up the wiring, put some conduit on it. It's really not much of a danger. Really nothing on this unit is flammable. It's mineral wool insulation. It's a steel frame and steel pole barn siding. So there's nothing flammable on here. I do also have the box grounded. Anything that requires a ground, like the motors and the pumps, they're all grounded. Oh, I almost forgot. You'll notice I labeled everything, what it does, but I also put a red dot at the spots that are normal operations. So I get up at 4:30 in the morning to leave for work, and when I'm out here at 5 a.m. before I'm getting in the truck and taking off, I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything because I'm a little drowsy. So I just go through. Usually I have the light on here so that I can see what I'm doing because it's dark out. But I just double check that the switch is turned to the red side so that I know everything's normal operations. Just a quick spot check, easy visual. Red, 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 red line, and then my light is not red, so last one, and then I can close the door, walk away, head to work, and I'm good for 24 hours. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.